And look at Randy Orton slithering.
Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
KO! Here's the cover.
Hey, what's up guys, and we're back here today with a special 3-mark video on tank everybody's been asking for me to show 3-marking. And what is it? What's the best tier 10 medium tank in the game? It's the Chi-Ri. I know this is probably really requested. I'm totally, answering the question of what is the best tank in the game. Obviously, it is the Chi-Ri. Get an amazing autoloader. It's just so good. But in all seriousness, this tank is, in one word, a meme. That's it. It's not good, but it's hilarious to play, and I've really just been struggling to have interest in the game. How much I've been playing lately because of lockdown stuff. It's fun. So I don't have any tank lines that I want to grind. Just put 2 shots, 1 shot into the LTPB. Luckily, somehow, even with the crap shell velocity on these AP rounds. I'm not going to go too much into the tank specs too much, but as we get into the beginnings of this game and the snake bites, as tradition dictates, both commit suicide. It is a time-honored tradition of snake bite drivers. But yeah, basically, I think about a couple weeks ago, I said, okay, I have nothing to grind that I want to grind. I'm not going to grind Type 5 heavies or mouses. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to subject myself to tanks I don't like. So why not play something that's just, it's bad, but it's hilarious in the aspect of the gun. It's just stupid. And 3-mark something that really nobody plays to try to 3-mark, at least that I'm aware of too much. But also I'm a fan of Sarkhan, so I've been around for a while watching his vids, and some of his videos on this tank are just hilarious. And obviously that's the joke, that it's the best tier 10 medium in the game. Obviously it's a tier 7 medium tank. But if you don't know about this thing, you use it with the autoloader. It's pretty bad pen wise. It's 3 shots. Standard rounds only have 100 and I believe 55 millimeters of penetration, and then the premium rounds get a whopping 185 millimeters. I mean, whew, that's still worse than a lot of tier 7 tanks standard pen. And you get to now fight in 2020 tanks like the Dreadnought, but we're going to teach him a lesson of Chi-Ri power and set him on fire to know exactly where to shoot him to light him up. And we're going to wave bye-bye to him and assert our dominance of the best tier 7 tank in the game still, even in 2020. And that tank right there is going to be a real pain to deal with, but we're going to show him later who's also the best tank in the game. But this thing is really funky in how you have to play it. Again, it has 3-shot autoloader with the 1 gun. That's the one you want to use. You're looking at packages grinding through the Japanese mediums. And it can be kind of funny in the fact that you can catch people out because they don't know what the hell's happening to them. And how quick, it is literally 1 second between each shell. That is ridiculously quick for a higher tier tank. So you sometimes can even press the trigger once and accidentally fire 2 shells. I've done that several times. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. So yeah, it's more of a meme. That's the funny part of it. But it is hilarious in the fact that it also is an autoloader that has only a 7-second reload. So you can really catch people out in the fact that, okay, they think you're an autoloader and you just shot your rounds. Okay, they can push you now, and they'll be able to out DPM you. Yet they can't. Because you literally reload in like 7 seconds and dump another 3 shots into them. If you pen, I mean, obviously, again, I just said the penetration on this tank is god-awful. Hence the excessive number of premium shells. And even then, the premium shells are worse than most tier 7's standard shell. So yeah, you're going to fire a lot of ammo, but the thing is you can fire a lot of ammo because you're like 7-second reload, 3 rounds every 7. It's ridiculous. So, and you have a hell of a lot of ammo. I think it has 105 rounds, so you don't have to be gracious with it in terms of, you know, something, say, I don't know, totally different tank, but like Panzerwagen. You don't want to just throw your shells away in that tank, per se. This thing, let them rip, let them fly. And here we're going to take the first shot of damage from the defender, but that's okay. We're going to teach him a lesson in a second of dealing with the Chivalry. As he puts a shot in, or somebody else shoots him, his attention's turned. First shot's going to bounce, but then we have our amazing premium ammo, and we're going to put a couple into him. Reload really quickly. This is kind of a sticky situation. We had the T-28 looking at me. Luckily there's no RD because this thing does not move at all. It's not quick. It's a medium tank. Yeah, that's the size of a heavy tank, and it can go like a max of 40 kilometers an hour. Yeah, and has paper armor. So basically everything pens you. It's really a support tank. You really have to try to play it trickily. This guy is going to push. We're going to track him, keep him in that place, and if you can hear it there, the push, our teammate sets him on fire, and we get some nice assisted there. And you're going to eat one from the T-28, but I got to get away from this guy. This is just running away. And honestly, I just pity these fools, as we see on the, you know, angry eyes of the Chivalry. Defender is now set his sights, and he forgets about the great power of the Chivalry, and we take him out of the game, obviously just showing that the Chivalry is superior to the Defender in every aspect, minus armor. And then we're just going to finish this game up with a nice little fire, our second one of the game, and roast the marshmallows for the victory. And finish it out with 3,200 damage and a little bit of assist there on the Defender. But this tank is just an utter joke. I'm not serious. This thing is terrible for the most part with the pen and just how slow it is. It's really, you don't want to be fighting tanks head on most of the time. You notice most of that game, I didn't talk about much, was just focusing on tanks that are, their attention is turned elsewhere. I wasn't trying to face tanks head on if I could. It's more just poking up, people just fire, like the Dreadnought, stuff like that. I don't want to be the one taking people on head on, because then you're just going to get destroyed in this thing. Has no armor. This is the max armor. It has like 75 millimeters of flat armor on the front, so you're just going to get penned by everything. So really, you don't want to do that. Even with top tier, which both of these games are tier 8 games, so yeah, that's the real fun thing. This thing can either meet, you know, T-67s, and that's fine, tier 5s, or you could now be fighting Type 4 heavies, Object 257s, you know, with a maximum of 185 millimeters of penetration and 135 alpha damage. Yeah, sounds fun. And here we're rocking the best camo in the game, the Jailhouse camo. As we're going to prison for what we're about ready to do to this enemy team in the Chivalry. I honestly, I'm going to keep this thing in the garage. I'm not going to play it much, but if I want to meme or just joke about at tier 7, I may pull this out. My goal is maybe at some point to reach 5k in this tank damage. I think it's possible. You just have to have like the stars align. I've already seen Jokers in another vid. I did record it, but I'm not going to include it. Probably just going to delete it, but he did like 4.5k, and I did like 3k in this thing, the same game, which is just dumb. Granted, I think he farmed a full health Tiger 2, but this is an AFK one. This game is going to be a little more tricky than the last one. Granted, I mean, I guess running away from the Defender is still tricky, but we're going to play this a little more carefully. This is a little more positive for us, though, because there's no artillery in the game. Granted, luckily that last game, they already got taken out fairly early on. As you can guess, this thing's slow. It's a big boxy target that has no armor, Artie loves to shoot Cheeries. Same with KV2s and anything with HE guns. They're basically going to auto-pen you. Not necessarily frontally, but if you even give them a slight side armor shot, they're going to pen this thing. As we put our eyes on the T-34D8, we do eat one here from the Leo, but we get a little bit of assisted as well. And that was the main issue with the 3 mark on this thing, is I could get the damage out, but you can't really get assisted very well. And that's always so key for 3 marking anything, I find, is getting that assisted damage, because it just helps so much. Boosts it up. Especially something like this, you have low alpha. I think the damage requirements for this tank for like the 2100 or so for 3 marks. You can put a few downrange for the KV-85. But it's just a big boxy thing that's slow. You're not going to spot in this thing, and also the gun is so low caliber that it's hard to really track anything consistently. As you put a few towards this Tiger 2, 2 actually go in at that range, and it's tricky. Usually to track something, you may have to shoot it 3 times in the same track, possibly, as we actually bounced a King Tiger shell right there. You're not seeing things. I said the Fury has no armor. I may have lied. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I don't recommend anybody actually trying to emulate this. This is just something I did because I'm bored, and I wanted to kind of challenge myself a little bit, I guess, and play something that's not really good but funny, and just something I've seen before in somebody else's videos messing around with this thing. So like I said, we see our team is more towards the right over there, pushing, and again, I'm not pushing with them because I don't want to really be in the front lines with this tank at all. Just because, but again, it's a paper box. Everybody's going to shoot you and pen. So I'm being patient here, just waiting for maybe the enemy team to make some mistakes, just putting a shot down range every once in a while. And again, we have plenty of ammo to do this. I'm never going to run out of ammo in the Chivalry. That's just never going to happen. And it's going to be expensive. As you saw last game, if I lost 80k. I probably lost 2 million silver playing this tank. So again, expect that if you do want to try this. I don't recommend it. Again, yeah, don't try this at home, everyone. I should say, like America's Funniest Home Videos or something. But me and this King Tiger just keep poking each other. He keeps getting distracted, so we keep putting some shells downrange every couple like seconds, and doing a whopping 120 damage every like 7 seconds in, because you know that's what happens. We're gonna take advantage of this guy poking unnecessarily and put some shells downrange. King Tiger is luckily not paying attention and is back down in the dip, and now this KV-85 is just coming for me. But he's going to stop with a rock because he's a one-shot, and hopefully one of our teammates paying attention up on the sniper hill can take him out, or somebody to the right. And sure enough, they do. And now we're just kind of waiting, and then I see this guy. He makes this mistake. I don't know why, and this is just the dream. Somebody's completely distracted, and again, only 7 seconds, so I can literally just sit here, no Artie, nobody's aiming at me, and hopefully we can put some more shots into this guy. A little tricky here because our friendly T-32 is in the way, but that's okay. STG pokes out, misses thankfully, and I'm not sure how he's not just getting obliterated right now. If it was me on top of that sniper perch, just like completely exposed, I would just get slapped. And here's something key. This is actually more gameplay related. Rather than pushing to the dip, again, I'm more of a support tank, and I don't want to be down in that dip because it's just usually a crossfire that ends in hell. Attacking this base can be really, really difficult sometimes in any tank if most of their team is still alive like this. And I don't generally like going into the dip where that T-32 is, because you can get shot from their sniper perch from where they're protected, and it's just not really good for attacking teams to go in that way. So again, we're going to go this way, put some shots into this Emil, who's been sniping, which is fine. Reload. I know he's probably going to be still in that area, so I'm going to hopefully put some blind shots. And you see the first one bounce, so I knew to keep firing. And there we go. Basically using this gun like a machine gun, just rapid firing shells downrange. I know he can't back up very quickly. and we finish him off for our first kill of the game there. So, pretty ideal scenario for us so far. Really have been just going around picking people off. It's a little tricky here. We have to hit the cupola, and we do, even with standard AP. That's enough to go in, finish off the AT7. And they just have some pretty tough nuts to crack over there. T28 Prot, IS-3. Again, there's a reason I'm not over there on that flat line. I cannot pen those guys frontally. It's impossible. I can't even overmatch with this gun the IS-3's turret roof spot. Because it's only a 75mm gun that this thing has, and it literally cannot overmatch that no matter what. I'm pretty sure. So even with 4 tanks left, I don't really want to push in too hard yet. Because again, I can lose health like poof, blink of an eye. But I'm going to do my best to try to support this guy. Again, he's pushed in 332. And it's kind of a tricky scenario. I only have standard AP loaded right here, so 2 of mine bounce. And I'm still loading that. I don't know why. I should be just loading the premium ammo here of, you know, the great premium ammo. And we're hopefully going to finish this guy off, but no, it's some weird angle and bounces. And that's the thing. This thing has some weird scenarios with that. Hopefully we can finish him off here. And we do. And we put one more into the IS-3's rear, chipping away at him slowly. And this thing was actually fairly enjoyable to play. I don't know why. It really shouldn't have been, for the most part. Some of my best games were actually tier 9s. Tier 9 games, but they were losses. I think I had 2 or 3 tier 9 games where I did like 3,500 damage in this thing. But still lost because my team was just terrible. I may still post one of those at one point. I have saved up. And again, this is another key. I don't like poking here. Or not poking, sorry, pushing where that Barracuda is going. He's just going into a crossfire. I don't want that. And again, especially in this thing, because you're just going to get massacred if you go down that dip. So I'm going to take the long road and poke all the way around and hopefully catch these guys by surprise. And the thing I was a little worried here was the Barracuda was just going to get murdered and they were just going to turn around and possibly just push me, and I had nothing. There was nothing I could do frontally against an IS-3. Absolutely nothing. You can't pen him frontally if he's angled straight on. You just can't. So that's fun. And unfortunately, he does die. But the IS-3 is basically a one-shot now, and he's in the low ground. So I'm fairly confident that I can still get up here, and he does start pushing. That I can at least maybe track him or kill him before he's able to get up on the flat ground. So I'm still being cautious, even with this game looking like it's in the bag. I could easily just get 2-shot about both these guys, but the STG is not expecting the wild cheat reader up here. Again, I hit him twice in the tracks there, it doesn't do anything. But with our great reload, I know I almost beat his, and we're gonna go. And that time it does connect, but the second shell does not pen. It hits the bunker, which is unfortunate for us because that would have killed him. But he's going to sit still for us, and we're going to finish him off for our 4th kill of the game. And 3,300 damage in the overpowered Chibi. No, kidding. But I know everybody was asking for this and expecting this was the next video to come out. So finish that game up just shy of 3,500 and 1,900 base XP in the greatest tier 7 to ever live. And this was very close to where I almost 3-marked it. I think it took me 2 more games after this. The 3rd mark game was nothing special. It was like 2k damage. I didn't really want to show that. Not very exciting gameplay. Team capped out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit of a joke video. To an extent. Still a 3-mark video. But yeah. Fun little stuff for today. And I think next one will probably be another Vanguard video, but it's a special treat, and you guys are going to like it, I bet. It's going to be a ridiculous ending. Some of you have already seen it, but until next time, see you.